What's going on, Tiger fans? So today, no video for the majors. It's going to be back to my old normal video style for today. So no more this hot corner intro stuff for this video. It's going to be my annual predictions video for the Tigers, which I've done the last 3 years. And for the most part, they've been pretty accurate. Last year, I reviewed my predictions for last year, and I gotta admit they were a bit homer in the bias of for the bias in the actual predictions. So this year, I toned it down some and really looked at these players and their production to really get more of an accurate feel for how much these guys are actually going to hit and do as players, and took some of the homer bias out of it. Because when I do this, when I talk baseball in general, I don't like to be biased at all, even though it may seem like that when I trash other teams when people comment on my videos. But I can defend a lot of stuff with pure facts and no bias. But last year, I will give it to you that my predictions were a bit off when it came to it. So let me close out of this Windows right here and get to it, look at my notes. Basically, I'm going to do the starting 9, how it's probably going to be, in no particular order. And then some bench guys, rotation, and bullpen. Austin Jackson, I think, is going to hit 289, have 14 homers, have 71 RBIs. Still good numbers. I know it's not the 300 he hit last year, but I think he will regress just a little bit from that. He barely hit 300 last year. Leland took him out after he got the hit in Kansas City that got him his to his 300 average. And I don't think he'll do that again this year. Main goal for him is cut down on the strikeouts even more, try to get it right around 100. A couple less homers this year, but I think a few more RBIs. He kind of slumped off a little bit. He had, I think, close to 50 RBIs at the break. I think he finished with like 65, close to 70. I think this year he hits the 70 mark. Torrey Hunter this year, I think, hits 277, has 17 homers and 81 RBIs, which is quite a bit lower than his 313. I think he had 15 or 16 homers and only had 92 RBIs. But he's playing on a team where he's going to have potentially 3 guys behind him. They are going to drive in 100, and not everyone could drive in 100. And he had a really high BABIP last year, a batting average of balls in play. It was like 381 or something. It was ridiculously high. Something that's not sustainable. So don't be surprised to see Hunter's average dip down back to career averages-wise. Miggy. How's the Triple Crown winner going to follow up his Triple Crown season? Well, I got him hitting 326, 41 homers, and 132 RBIs. A little bit less than last year, but still MVP caliber numbers. Prince Fielder. Now, this is one of my biggest excitements for the year. He's going to be hitting, I have him hitting 291, not the 313 he hit last year. 36 homers, 114 RBI. So, a bit more production because he's going to have Victor Martinez hitting behind him now, not Delmon Young. So, guys will have to come to him and pitch to him instead of walking Fielder, because Fielder was the most intentionally walked player, I believe, in the American League last year. And this year they'll actually have to pitch to him because you're bringing back Martinez, who's a career 300 hitter. He posted a 380 OBP in 2011 and hit 330. So you have to pitch to Fielder, or you put him and Cabrera both on. Chances are Martinez is putting the ball in play because he don't strike out much either. So I think his numbers are going to go up, especially his power numbers. He's going to see guys a bit more. If he hit 40, it wouldn't surprise me, but 36 I think is a strong number, fair number for old Prince. Victor Martinez, 310, 11 homers, 94 RBIs. Martinez drove in over 100 in his first year in a Tigers uniform. Hit 330. I think he had 12 homers. This year, there should be no more expectations than what I got for him. Solid 300 average because he's a career 300 hitter from both sides of the plate. Power-wise, should be right there. And I know a lot of people are scared with his knee. How is his power stroke going to be? But in Lakeland, Florida the other day, I was watching a game, or listening to a game, I should say, and he hit a ball dead center field. I know it's a different thing in Lakeland than it is in Comerica, but if you're worried about his power stroke, that should be a good sign. And he's looking great. Looks like his swing is still right there, and it looks like his knee's affecting him. He's running solid, too. So I think that's a fair prediction for Victor Martinez. Andy Dirks. I'm not sold on him being an everyday starter yet. A lot of people say, well, he hit 300, I think 322 last year, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, Dirks, he had split time. He got hurt quite a few times. He got hurt again in spring, but I think he's good to go now. So I got him hitting 272, 9 homers, and 65 RBIs. I think that's good if he's going to get 400 at-bats this year. I think that should be a realistic expectation. That 322, I don't think, is his telltale numbers. So he's got to prove to me. Johnny Peralta, I think he's going to hit 269, 18 homers, 80 RBIs. Pretty much come back to his career averages. That year, when he hit 299, I think he had 21 homers and close to 90 RBIs in 2011. He's not going to do that again, but I think that's a realistic expectation. Peralta can hit 269 or a bit higher, just basically come back up to his career numbers. Alex Avila. Now, every year I kind of go out on one guy and boost up his expectations after coming off a down year a lot. Last year was Austin Jackson, and I guessed right. I had Jackson hitting, I think, 309 last year, and he did. He hit 300. And a lot of people were like, well, this guy, he only hit 250, or I think he hit 240 the year before. Well, I'm going out on a limb and saying Avila hits 280 this year, 15 homers, 75 RBIs. He had a solid OBP last year. He had an OBP of 353. And so it means he was seeing the ball well. But he was not getting the ball and hitting it the other way like he did the year prior in 2011 when he was an all-star and won the Silver Slugger behind the plate. Avila, when he's going good, he hits the ball the other way with authority. Just outstanding. He's a great opposite field hitter when his knees aren't bothering him, and he can hit it with power too. His only home run in the playoffs came an opposite field power in the opposite field home run in the power alley at Comerica Park. So if you see Avila doing that, that means his knees are healthy and he's seeing his balls well and hitting him and actually getting around him, because a lot of fastballs last year Avila missed, and there were ones he was typically turning on the year before. But I think this year he's coming back healthy. From what I saw in spring training, he's done okay, but it looks like his swing's a bit better, and as long as he takes the ball the other way with authority, again, like he did in 2011, it should be a good year behind the plate. Because when you have a 353 OBP, like, you're seeing the ball well and you're getting on base, but your average, you know, is just, it's not being kind because you're not hitting the ball and putting it in play enough. And I think this year he's going to come back healthy and he's going to do that. So he's my going out on a limb pick to really come back up and be a bounce back player of the year for the Tigers. Omar Infante, I got it hitting 271, 12 homers, 64 RBIs. He had a really good production when he first came over from the Marlins. He had like an 800 OPS in the month of August, and it just fell off. He fell off the table a lot. Didn't do much after August with the Tigers. I mean, he had a couple hits in the postseason. He was okay in September. So I think 271 isn't out of the range of possibility for him. 12 homers is what he had last year, so I'll give him that again to hit it again. And I'll give him 64 RBIs. I think that's good for a guy that's going to hit close to ninth most of the time. So let's move on to bench guys. Brennan Bosch. I got him hitting 230, 11 homers, 53 RBIs. I'm not sold on him. I've lost all hope on him. I was one of Bosch's biggest supporters for the longest time. But this kid took a major step back this past year. In 2011, before he got hurt, he was hitting 300. You know, he was seeing the ball. He was taking a lot more pitches than he was the year of 2010 when he really dumped off after hitting 350 in the first half. He needs to do that again. He just chases the curveball, chases the inside fastball. He likes to down it away, and his bat speed just isn't there because his swing's really long and he's a bigger guy. And I really am not going to get back on his bandwagon till he can show me that he's going to do good again. I think he's going to have the power. I got the 11 home runs, and as a bench guy, I think he's got that because he does have good power. He's got really good power, especially opposite way on left-handers. Ask Chris Sale. But he's going to have to prove to me that he's a good hitter and he can adjust. So I got him really low this year and having another bad year just until he can prove that he can be a consistent from day 160 or day 1 to day 162. Donnie Baseball, Don Kelly. If he's up this year, he might be in AAA for a good chunk of the year, but if he's up this year, I think he'll hit 243, have 4 homers, 37 RBIs. I think he'll be a good bounce-back player. He's a good, valuable player, man. He can pitch for you when you're out of pitchers. You know, he can play multiple positions. He could probably manage the club at this point. So I like Donnie Baseball. I'm being a bit biased on his prediction, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll bounce back. Ramon Santiago, as Rod Allen calls him, sneaky power. Don't expect much. Spread about the same last year, 239, 3 homers, 33 RBIs. Brian Pena, the new catcher, got him hitting 254, 2 homers, 29 RBIs. Won't be as good as Gerald Laird, because Gerald Laird was a hell of a backup. He's exactly what you wanted your backup to be. Especially when Avila was hurt last year, he stepped right up, and he did a great job backing up Avila. I mean, an outstanding job. He flashed some power. He had some really big hits for us when we needed it, and he was a good catcher, and I'm sad he's gone. You know, I dissed that move a lot last year when they re-signed him back to a contract after being on the Cardinals. But he did a great job, and I wish Gerald Laird all the best of luck in Atlanta, and I wish he was still backing up Avila, but he wants more playing time. So don't blame the guy. Quentin Berry, I got him hitting 263, 2 homers, 31 RBIs. If he stays up all year, which I don't know he will or not, because Berry was horrible after June of last year. I mean, he was god-awful. He was hitting well over 300 in his first month up, and he was dazzling everyone. I mean, they made a Scherzer quicker than, you imagine when Berry first came up. He was so popular. And then teams figured out he's got a long swing. He strikes out a lot. He likes the breaking balls. And you throw it up and in, you throw high fastballs, he can't hit it because he's got a long stride and a really long swing for such a wiry body guy. But I think he will be a valuable asset for late inning games when you need a pinch runner and a stolen base, because I think Berry was 21 for 21 in stolen bases last year. He's coming up on the record for most stolen bases without getting caught, which is, I believe, is held by Chase Utley. Rotation, I'm going to kind of blow through this one. Verlander, 21-7, 2.79 ERA. I think he gets back over the 20-win mark this year, as long as his pen don't screw him that much, and his offense backs him up, because he had a lot of no decisions last year. Scherzer, I got 16-8, 3.49 ERA. I think he puts together, I think he struggles a little bit out the gate, but then puts it together about a month in, and he has a good, solid rest of the year. Doug Fister, you guys all know I'm a big Dougie Fresh fan. And I think if he stays healthy, these numbers are not out of the realm. I got him at 18-6, 2.99 ERA. I really think that highly of Doug Fister. I say it and I'll say it again. People do not think Doug Fister is a legit number 2. That is because you do not watch Doug Fister every 5th day. This man can pitch. He can pitch. He has some of the best movement you will see on your pitches. He's got a nasty curve, good two-seamer, outstanding cutter. This man can pitch. He stays healthy, starts 31 games, he will have that. Look at his second half numbers the last 2 years. He has been amazing when healthy. He will put up those numbers. He stays healthy. Anibal got a 15-9, 3.75 ERA, right about he had numbers last year. Smiley, I think he'll win the 5th spot, and I got him at 11-8, 4.10 ERA. I think sophomore slump just a tad, even though he got a 3.99 ERA last year. And if Rick Porcello starts, I got him at 13-7 because he has over 10 wins every year in the majors, and a 4.45 ERA. I'm not sold on him, and then the Tigers' defense behind him is not going to help him out much. All right, so bullpen. And this is one a lot of people are waiting for. Bruce Rendon, 3.75 ERA, 33 saves. I'm going to say something that Mitch Williams said. ERA for your closer does not matter any bit. If he could be 65 for 65 with a 7 ERA, your closer's doing his job. You know, a lot of those numbers I think are going to get inflated in non-save situations. Like, remember Jose Valverde? Horrible in non-save situations. I think that's where Rendon's going to maybe be this year. That's why his ERA is going to be inflated. But I think he's going to be 33 of 37, and he's going to do a pretty good job. Joaquin Benoit, he's going to have a bounce-back year, man. He had an ERA, minuscule ERA, in May and June. Or no, June and July last year. And then after July, it was just home run derby at Comerica Park. That guy was giving up homers like fucking crazy. But I think this year he comes back down to his normal numbers, 2.65 ERA, 39 holds. Octavio Dotel, I think he's going to have a 3.30 ERA, right about what he did last year. Rick Porcello, I think if he's in the bullpen, he'll have a 3.20 ERA because you make it to where he doesn't have to face a lineup more than one time. He'll be effective. Al, I think he's going to be an outstanding guy if he's healthy all year. He once had healthy health problems. I think he's going to have a 2.65 ERA. Villarreal, I think, is going to have a 2.89 ERA. I think those two guys are really going to step up this year and be huge parts of the pen. Two guys that got nasty, nasty secondary stuff. Both have problems with walks, but can get a strikeout when we need them. And then Phil Koch, I think if he can't get out right-handers again this year, he probably will have an ERA over 4, but I'm banking on him not being able to get out right-handers. And so I think he'll have an ERA right about 3.50 or so. So the Tigers' bullpen won't be amazing. It'll be right about like it was last year. Had a couple spurts, a couple hard spots, gave up some leads. But I think it'll be right about the same as that, but still be effective enough to win 95 ball games. Because that's what I got him at. I think it was at 95 and 67. So that's all I got for you guys today. One last thing. My sub contest is really close. I'm at 344. So if you're watching this video, subscribe because I'm giving away some free stuff once I hit 350. And what do you think of my majors videos? What do you think of the intros? What do you think the quality of them? Do you like these style videos better? Or do you like the majors video style better? So that's all I got for you guys today. Leave your predictions. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Like. Do all that good stuff. And I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts and opinions. Have a good one, guys, and go Tigers.